Militants left death and carnage in a place where life takes its first breath. Doctors Without Borders called the attack pure hell.
The attacker came up to me and pointed his gun at my head, but he didn't shoot. Instead, he killed 2 other women and then left the room.
The gunman killed 24 people in this attack last year, including mothers, infants, and pregnant women. The Taliban and the U.S. both blame ISIS-K for the attack, though the group has never claimed responsibility. The Islamic State of Khorasan has been blamed for the bloodshed of similar attacks since 2014 when they first emerged. ISIS-K pledged allegiance to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, aiming to establish a Sunni caliphate. And they have claimed responsibility or have been blamed for attacks in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Tajikistan. The weapons in their arsenal include suicide bombings, guns, and fear. And they're not afraid to strike soft targets. Like this wedding in Kabul in 2019 that left over 60 attendants dead and the survivors hopeless.
I've lost hope. I lost my brother-in-law. I lost my friends. I lost my relatives. I will never see happiness in my life again.
They're also blamed for an attack in May this year on a girls' school in Kabul that killed at least 50. Their strategy was apparent before the Taliban came into power, to make Afghans distrustful of the government. A suicide bombing at a voting registration center in Kabul in 2018 that killed nearly 60 people did just that.
Look at this. This is a voting card which is drowned in blood. Who will come to vote when a government asks to?
ISIS-K are indiscriminate in their attacks, targeting Taliban, Afghan government, or American forces. It's made for strange bedfellows, with the Taliban and the U.S. sometimes coming together to fight the militant group. The threat of ISIS-K also prompted Washington in 2017 for the first time to drop the most powerful conventional weapon in its arsenal, the mother of all bombs. Nearly 10,000 kilograms, the ordnance flattened the area surrounding a cave complex in eastern Afghanistan being used by ISIS-K. Officials estimate up to 100 fighters were killed in the blast. U.S. intelligence officials say ISIS-K has been using the instability of the Taliban takeover to strengthen their position and attract more disaffected Taliban fighters. And the UN warned in June about an influx of foreign fighters entering into Afghanistan to fight alongside extremist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K. The attacks are ramping up this year, on track to equal or surpass those in the peak years of 2017 and 2018. It means a big challenge ahead for the Taliban as they seek to legitimate their rule over Afghanistan. Timothy Ulrich, CGTN.